What is up? What is up? What is up? What's going on, everybody? Johnny here, the founder of REI Genius, and this is another episode of REI Genius Live. And we have a jam-packed episode. We're going to be bringing on the one, the only Dr. Joel McCloud from Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to be talking about some of the deals that he has been doing in Montgomery and with everything that has happened with him taking action and his sharing his journey in real estate. That one will hopefully motivate some of those on the sideline, and then also inspire you to start taking action on building wealth through real estate investing. Just for us going through a couple of the house notes, we'll be live on the ground in Austin, Texas, starting this Friday and Saturday for I'll say, the Smart Money Expo, but it's going to be a transformational journey. We're going to help change lives this week in Austin, Texas for those who show up, for those that are in the room. So if you don't have your ticket, if you can get to Austin, Texas, the next 2 days, get there. Then also go to the website that there are some virtual options as well too. But with that, let's bring on Dr. Joel. Good evening. Good evening. I've been looking forward to this all week long. How's everything going, Joe?
Everything's well, John. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to be here. Excited to have this conversation and just talk about building wealth and just your journey, because that's one of the cool things that I love about real estate and just in general, because everybody's journey is different. The process is going to be a little bit different, some minor tweaks, but different nonetheless. Just where each one of us starts at, and the strategies that we take on, and the approach that we go to tackle real estate. So with that, I always like to kick it off with, tell us a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you already.
All right. Well, I'm Joel McCloud, and I am a physician practicing internal medicine for the last almost 33 years. Next month will be 33 years in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm a lifelong resident of Alabama, just like John. Uh, I grew up in South Alabama, attended Tuskegee University on a football scholarship, so I played football. And realized I wasn't going pro, so my goal was always to pursue a medical career. So I left Tuskegee and went to the University of Alabama in Birmingham for medical school and residency. So completed my training there, and then came back to Montgomery and been practicing internal medicine for the last 33 years in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm married. I have 3 kids, adult kids, all who are doing well. Empty nester, and I'm proud of that.
Awesome. So physician. Now I know a lot of people say, okay, you're a physician. Why real estate? That's the first one that comes to mind. And for those that's in real estate, you're like, why not real estate? But what was the thing that really pushed you over the edge or brought you into real estate investing, for you seeing the benefit and saying, hey, this is something that I want to get involved in and that I need to start taking action on?
Well, one thing I realized that being a physician is all active income. It's a good income, but when I retire, there's no more income coming in. And of course, I do have a nice retirement. I have a nice 401k that I'm counting on. But you never know when if it's going to be enough or what. But my two partners in practice, one of my partners has been a real estate investor since he was in residency. He bought houses in residency, and he's got about 18 single family homes in his portfolio. And actually, he's dev some um, in the commercial side as well. He owned a few
Okay.
apartments and a few storage units. And my other partner also has a couple single family rentals. So I think it's only natural that I should develop an interest in real estate myself, which I did, several years ago. Didn't really take any action, but I started studying it. My first adventure was learning about tax liens. Alabama is a tax lien state. So I did study and learn how to buy tax lien certificates. Went down to the auction and bought a couple of tax lien certificates. My very first time, bought a couple lots. You have to hold on to your tax lien certificate for about 3 years in Alabama, but I did, and the lots were strategically located between a former college president and the tax assessor. So I knew there would be some valuable lots. So I held on to them, paid about $150 a piece for 2 lots, and wound up selling for $25,000 after 3 years
Mm.
I got the deed. So that was pretty nice. Did a few other tax sales and profit on them, but that sort of lost interest in it and didn't keep up with it because it did require some time until I met Johnny a few years ago.
Okay, okay. And so that's cool because like there's so many different strategies. You're saying you got started with tax liens. I know right now you're crushing with helping people with pre-foreclosures. And the thing is that I think want people to take away from it, there's so many ways for you to find real estate. And a full-time practicing physician, if he can find time in his schedule, being married, raising a family, and working, and still being able to find time to invest in real estate, there's no excuse out there. So tell us a little bit about that. So you went from the tax liens, and then you and I connected and linked up. And what was the next step after that? Because I know, but for them, just seeing your journey and where you've gone and the action, the initiative that you're taking, and I would say just the encouragement and seeing what you're pointing to the rest of the community has definitely been a value add. And so tell us a little bit about your journey since we connected.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Johnny reached out to me on Bigger Pockets Forum. I guess he saw us as a homeboy, and he extended an invitation to learn more about him. I bought his book, and very, very interesting book. You haven't read, you need to get his book. Things that they forgot to teach us in school, and talk about the real estate millionaire. And very, very, very good book. Should be required reading of every junior high and high school. You did a good job with that book, Johnny. But when I read the book, I was like, man, this guy's got it going on. Told your success story and your meager beginnings, much like my own. Grew up in a small town in Alabama. Went to university and got education, started a career, and realizing that you needed more. So it was, I related to that and related to you. I had done a few other mentorships prior to yours, acquired a lot of knowledge, but never took any action. Never took any action. But when I saw somebody that looked like me, that was being successful, and how you just got there and started doing it, took a leap of faith in your first purchase. I said, well, that's something that you need to do too. And then you were focusing on multifamily, and I said, well, this is great. And I just decided one day that I was going to take some action. About the one of the initial contracts that I got was that 8-unit apartment complex in Tuskegee, where my alma mater is.
Mm-hmm.
And you helped me with that. We evaluated that, and you helped me create a letter of intent and helped me do the numbers on that. And unfortunately, we saw that the price was good, but it wasn't good enough to make up for the amount of money we got to put into it. There's going to be a lot of renovation, and about 3 times what we were paying for it, we got to spend in renovation. So we canceled that, fortunately. And I need to follow up on that and see, because somebody did buy that, and see how much they put into it, and if they did indeed turn it around. But it was through your mentorship, your help, your guidance that I've gained confidence to finally get off the sidelines. I had already had a keen interest in spending OPM, other people's money, which I was going to do with the apartments. There's another 4-home compound there in Tuskegee that we looked at. And of course, I could not close that deal. They didn't want to use my financing strategies, and I just refused to pay them outright for what they were asking for it. So that didn't sort of work out, but I didn't get discouraged. And I started looking at some single family residences. And I think one day you had a webinar in Birmingham, and I was sitting there waiting to start, and Gene Borkin walked through the door. I said, there's Gene Borkin. I had seen some of his videos on the YouTube channel, the Go Getter Family. And Gene is a big person who talks about creative financing. And I was already interested in creative financing and spending other people's money. And so he and I talked for a while. And one day he was one Thanksgiving he was offering a Black Friday special on his buying free foreclosures course. It was only $47, so that was a no-brainer for me. So I enrolled in his buying free foreclosures class. And I think the next few days, a wholesaler in my REIA group came up to me and said, after I introduced myself, told the group, which I think is very important, let them know who I was and what I wanted, what I was interested in. And he heard me and came up and said, well, I hear you say you're interested in creative financing and also in multifamily. I don't have multifamily, but I have a guy who is going into foreclosure. And I have this deal that, if you want to buy it, you can buy it from me. And he doesn't want much. And, he wants about $8,000 for his home. And I'll sell the deal to you for $10,000. I said, that's $18,000. I said, how much is he behind? And he said he's behind about $20,000. I said, it's $20,000 to catch up the arrears, $10,000 to pay you, $8,000 to pay the seller. That's about $38,000. I said, how much is the house worth? He says about $175,000. I said, well, that's not bad, not bad. But going through that free foreclosures class with Gene, I learned a lot of things about how to get free foreclosures.
Okay.
So after that course with Gene, we decided to partner on the deal instead of me buying it and putting that $38,000 up front. I decided to partner with him and use some of the skills that you and Gene had taught about using creative financing. So we're able to stop his foreclosure, put the house into a land trust so that we don't activate the due on sale clause, got the $20,000 put on the back end of the note in a partial claim fund that was not due until the first note is paid off. So that was $20,000 we didn't have to pay. We closed the house in a land trust, and then we're able to acquire ownership of the house in our own trust. So we fixed the house up. We took over his payments, and we got notice today we have a tenant buyer who's willing to pay us on a 30-year contract for deed, give us a $15,000 down payment, which will recoup my $8,000 investment that we gave the seller, as well as the 5,000 repairs we put into it. So they'll give us $15,000 down payment, pay us $1,500 a month for 30 years on a contract for deed. So we'll clear about $815 a month for the next 30 years on a house that we only paid $8,000 for and got that back with the down payment. So sweet deal. We saved the seller his credit because he didn't have a foreclosure on his credit. The bank got what they wanted. They wanted the loan reinstated and somebody to pay off the loan, so they got what they wanted. We got a buyer who has a little bit weak credit and can't go qualify for a bank loan. So she'll be able to get into the house without a credit check and be able to have the joys of home ownership. We also gave employment to inspector, insurance agent, attorney, closing attorney, a plumber, a roofer, a flooring guy, a painter, HVAC guy, lawn guy. So we gave employment to a lot of people just by doing that, and that's what we're trying to do. So that was the first deal.
Truly changing lives through real estate. So that was a lot to unpack. So you stop pre-foreclosure, you stop foreclosure for somebody who was with $20,000 behind on mortgage payment, got that that loan reinstated in good status, moved that $20,000 to the back of the loan. So pretty essentially just put it in a second position behind the first mortgage that you don't even have to touch it or pay it until the first mortgage is paid off. Didn't have their credit impact. They went on, moved off of their life, got $8,000 cash in their pocket, leaving the house, leaving that challenge, that issue behind them. Got another resident or tenant that's moving in to buy the house on a lease to own contract, put $15,000 down, which covers all the money up front that you put in the deal, and now they have a home. They didn't have to qualify and go through and worry about their credit to get into the deal, and you're gonna cash flow over $800 a month in cash flow for a house that you didn't have to qualify for. You didn't have to get put a down payment, a loan, or anything.
For 30 years.
For 30 years. For 30
Yeah.
years, that part.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I think that's the thing that we so many times we don't realize, like there is so many ways that you can put a real estate transaction together. And this is a true testimony of, it may sound for somebody who hasn't went through this process, it may sound intimidating, it may sound almost impossible, but I always say it's like information plus action times the repetition, the consistency showing up. This is how you find success in anything in life. And this is a true testimony of how to put that deal together. So is this the only deal that you've done, or is this a unicorn deal? Or are there more deals?
Well, I started reaching out to other people with foreclosures in this area. I've got a mailing campaign that I do. I also do a text blast. I get the foreclosure list for Montgomery and Montgomery County. Also, for the state, I just had to activate my mailing to the whole state. But there are so many people that are unfortunately going through foreclosure due to one reason or another. But there was a young couple who about a month ago responded to my mailing and confided in me that the wife, she was a nurse, had a good income, but she had a gambling problem. And the husband had been unemployed for a while, but he is now back on his feet. But they have foreclosure, and they were behind about $15,000, $16,000 pre-foreclosure, and they couldn't see themselves coming up with $16,000 in the next 4 weeks. And so I sent them a mailing about my willingness to work with people who are in pre-foreclosure to try and find solutions, offer solutions that the bank was not going to offer to them. And they took me up on that call, and we sat down and discussed their situation. And I really did feel like they could keep the home if they can get past this arrears that they had. So they engaged me to help them, and we did. They had already started the process, and I got power of attorney to talk to the lender on their behalf. So I talked with the lender, found out what had been done, what their options were, and asked if they were eligible for any type of loan modifications. Indeed, they were. And it's just like with the first foreclosure, we requested a partial claim fund where the arrears are put into a second lien position, zero bearing interest, and it's there until the first note is paid off, to the main mortgage is paid off. And 3 or 4 weeks or so, we got a notification that it was accepted. Like I said, the bank really don't want to foreclose; they just want their loan paid off. Because when they foreclose, have to sell a house, and they can't, use that money for investing in somebody else and make 5 times more than what they got into their house. So they consented to give them a partial claim. They put their arrears on the back end of the note. They had a 3.2% interest rate, and I told them by no means accept the loan modification where they gave them more time. Sometimes they will extend the loan to like 4 to 8 months and give them a new interest rate at the current rate. But you don't want to mess up a 3.2% loan.
You don't.
Or refinance out of a interest rate that low. So we made sure that they knew that we did not want any type of modification. We just wanted a partial claim. And so they did get it. And they got notification a couple of weeks ago that they would be putting that arrears on the back end of their mortgage. So they have another 28 years before that partial claim is due. So they were real happy about that. And I was pleased that, through my training with you guys, I was able to provide that service for them.
No, so that's awesome.
So that was a second deal. Then the most recent one that y'all have sort of heard a little bit about, the $5,000 deal. One of my patients came in the office a few months ago and said, "Well, I hear you do real estate." I said, "Yeah, I do." She said, well, I have a house that I want to sell. I got married about 6 months ago. And I got married about a year ago, and my husband and I are planning on getting another house together. I want to sell this one. And would you like to buy it? I said, well, tell me a little bit about it. She said, well, I I owe about $92,000 on it, and it's probably worth about 145. And I said, what's your interest rate on it? She said 2.7%. I said, I sure do. I want it. So I said, well, let me come see the house, and maybe we can work something out. And I'm thinking all along, taking over this mortgage is my first goal. Take over this mortgage so we don't have to go get a bank loan. Don't have to pay any more than what she's paying for it. So I toured the house, and the tenant was there, and she's only charging the tenant right now. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and her payments on the house, which include her PITI, are about $720 a month with that 2.7% interest rate. Yeah, and she's only charged her tenant $800 a month. I said, why are you charging so low? Well, I just want somebody to sort of pay the expenses, and I wasn't looking to make a lot of money on it. I was like, well, that's good. You don't want to make a lot of money. So I said, well, I think we can buy your house if you're willing to be creative. She said, what do you mean by that? I said, if you're willing to take a little bit now and take some later. She said, well, write it up and we'll talk about it. So this $720 that she's paying monthly includes her principal and interest, which are only about $410 a month with a low interest rate. And it also includes insurance and property insurance and taxes. But with a property insurance, she's still paying homeowners insurance instead of paying renters insurance. And her homeowners insurance is about $2,700 a year, which is a lot for her in Alabama. So the first thing I said was we can buy your house, and I will buy it in a land trust. We'll transfer your home into a land trust, and then we'll let you deed the house to us after we close on the land trust, do a quick claim and assignment of the beneficial interest in the trust to my trust. That way we'll keep the mortgage intact, and it won't enact the due on sale clause from the bank by transferring the mortgage. We'll close on the land trust first. So she said, okay, that's fine. I said, what I also do is once I have control of the house, I will get renter's insurance. And that will cut about $230 a month out of the monthly payment. I'll give that to you. I'll give you $5,000 when we close at the end of this month. And I'll give you $200 a month for the next 6 months until your lease with your current tenant expires. So that'd be January 2025. In January 2025, I will, do some minor repairs on the house. Probably need to take up the carpet, put on some LVP, and I'll get an inspection to see what else it needs. But I don't think it'll need too much more. And I hope to be able to sell the house in January 2025 or February, depending on how long it takes to do the repairs. And I hope to be able to sell it for about $155,000 and get a $10,000 down payment. I'll use that $10,000 down payment to give you another $5,000, and it also will cover the first $5,000 I gave you end of June of this year, and then I will give you your balance of equity in 48 payments, $350 a month. So it's a total of $16,800 equity payments, plus her $11,200 I've given her before. So that's a total of $28,000. And I said, well, to make it even $30,000, I'll pay $2,000 of your closing costs. So that's a total of $30,000 I give to you. None of it out of my pocket, but I'll give it to you over 4 years for your house. And she said, well, that sounds great. Let's do it. So I've essentially gotten a house for free. It won't cost me anything except maybe doing the repairs on it. I will turn around and sell the house in January, February 2025, again on a contract for deed, where I will be the bank. I'll finance somebody. I'll probably raise the payments up to about $1,200 a month, and give somebody a 30-year mortgage, paying me for 30 years, $1,200 a month. So the first 4 years, I'll probably cash flow about $300 a month. And then once I pay her
Okay.
off, I'll probably cash flow about $625 a month until the house is paid off. And in the last 3 or 4 years, of course, I'll cash flow $1,200 a month. Um, so all that would be with no out of pocket cost to me. So that's a
Man,
hybrid deal, sub two deal combined with a contract for deed. So fully creative.
the definition of creativity. No,
Yeah.
that is phenomenal to put that deal together. And how did so? What was the transformation like for you from a year ago not doing any type of subject to creative financing to get to the point where you are right now? We're having this conversation. You've done three creative deals, and and one of those was really super cool with being able to help a couple where they didn't actually, it really didn't benefit you a whole lot, but you showed them the information that you need that they you had that they needed on how they could actually go in, have the conversation with their lender, because just because you had that information, you were able to help them keep their house. Hopefully they can turn everything around with the situation they got themselves in and not have a foreclosure on their credit, and which just causes so many other second and third order effects on just your lifestyle when you have something like that that comes onto your credit. So how was that transformation for you?
It's been great, Johnny. I've been pricing mess for 33 years and hope I've contributed to improving people's health, improving their quality as well as their quantity of life. And I tell you, saving these two people, these two families from foreclosure and bad credit and unable to even rent an apartment uh, feels just as good as saving a life. I mean, it really does. And I owe it all
Wow.
to my training that I've received over the years and my motivation that I get from you and from Gene to get off the sidelines and just take action. You preach that all the time. Just take massive action, massive action. And I see now the importance of stepping out on faith and just doing it. I mean, you already, just by attending one session like tonight, you already know more than a lot of people out there, and that knowledge is given to you. And I always believe that to whom much is given, much is required. So don't sit there and hold that knowledge. Get out and change some lives. Not only will it change your community, the people that you work with, it'll change your life. It'll change my life personally. I mean, I'm developing passive income. Like I said, I have a retirement, but I don't want to depend on that retirement. I want to have some income coming in when I retire in the next 4 or 5 years from my medical practice. And I'm all excited about being able to let real estate be that tool, be that vehicle.
No, 100%. You are 100% right. And taking action and getting out there. I had a lunch meeting at work this week with a military guy and a former military guy, recent turned contractor, and and it was the same. The conversation centered around, well, I don't know as much as you. I don't, have a whole lot of experience. And we talked about the couple deals he had done. I'm like, look around this room right now in the cafeteria. You're the 1%. Like, there's no one in here that probably, you may have one or two people that have rental properties, and of those, it was just a house that they lived in. It wasn't because they went out and sought actual investment property as a pure investment. And it's the same way with our network. It's like so many times we downgrade our knowledge that we have. We have limiting beliefs on what we can achieve and the significance of what we've achieved. And it holds us back. I truly believe it holds us back just because, no one out here that's taking action and doing the things is better than you or smarter than you. They're just consistently showing up and doing the things that you're doing. And, they get the information, they take action, and they consistently show up. And it happens just like you were just sharing. Like, hey, they know you. They hear that you're buying real estate. You're sending text messages. You're sending letters in the mail to these people that need your help, and you're helping people and doing deals. So salute to you with taking action, changing lives. Like you said, you're changing lives from the physician side of the house, and now you're changing lives from the financial literacy, the impact that you're having on people in their pocketbook, in just their everyday life. So it's truly a blessing and an opportunity that you've clearly taken serious and that you continue to take on. And shout out to Gene too, with the Go Getter family, with everything, because he's teaching more and more people these techniques and letting it be known on what's possible out here, and that people don't have to suffer through foreclosure. There, you have different options that you would think the bank would send you a letter and say, "Hey, this is what you can do. You can go through and request a loan modification and put this on the back end." But it's like, if you don't call and you don't ask, if you don't engage on your own behalf and be your biggest advocate, you can be lost out here and end up in foreclosure when it wasn't even necessary. It wasn't 100% a requirement to go through that process. So salute to you and everything that you're doing with that. Tell the people kind of what's next. What do you see yourself kind of the next 6 months when it
Well,
comes to real estate investing?
my goal is to acquire multifamily, but acquire it using creative financing. So I want to combine those creative financing tools
Let's go.
and skills that I'm obtaining to get multifamily. So that's my goal. I mean, I was just so impressed by our session Monday night, the number of people in REI Genius who are taking action, who are getting properties, and who are making offers. And it was just so motivational there. And it's made me step up my game. And I'm going to not pivot, but I'm going to just sort of deter a little bit from single family, and also open my eyes up to maybe some multifamily deals that may be lurking nearby. I just hadn't uncovered yet. Johnny, as you guys know, have a huge portfolio right here in Montgomery on multifamily. A lot of his was acquired with creative financing as well. So I think the outlook is bright for our REI Genius group, and for us. I think our task is to bring some people along with us, pass this knowledge and education along to them, so we can improve all of our lives and that of our community.
No, 100%, 100%. You were talking about Monday. Monday blessed me too. I was so amped up and hyped after Monday night. And my wife was like, she's like, "So how'd the car go?" She asks me that all the time, and I was like, it was phenomenal. I'm like, to see the level of execution, the confidence, the camaraderie, and just I'm a true believer, iron sharpens iron, and just to see the back and forth, the questions being asked, and real time, like, "Oh, I'm taking that, I'm using this, and hey, I got this going on, and I got that going on. Have you thought about this?" That is truly what a mastermind is supposed to be, where you have multiple individuals coming together, group thinking. Well, not groupthink from the traditional sense of everybody having the same thought, but having multiple brains, having multiple minds. That now you have a group tackling your challenge or issue that you're working, and now you're having multiple opinions and multiple uh, thoughts and angles of how you can solve this challenge, versus you with your single mind and single experience trying to go through and solve that problem. And so, no, it was definitely transformational, and I'm excited. The future's bright with everything we got going on with some of the REI Genius investor clubs, with some of those starting to launch here soon. Lionel Capital with the private equity fund with that. So I think it's going to be a lot of opportunities going forward in real estate, and we're going to be right here for it.
I saw the pride on your face Monday night when everybody was chiming in about what they had going on and stuff, and I saw you just sort of smiling down on us like a mother duck.
For sure, for sure. Because it's like you said, with the community, it's all about seeing other people win, people taking action on their goals, and finding their way, finding their passion, whatever it is that they're looking to do. So, and that's what it's all about. It's nothing. That's what my sign right there with Kobe. That's what he said. Is it the most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do, and that's it. And I truly believe that. And every time I walk in my office, it's like that's the mantra, that's the process, that's the mindset that I step into everything that I'm doing. It's like, how can we add value? Just like that couple, because I know some real estate investors, when they would have found out that they couldn't buy that home, that they wanted to stay in their house, they would have been done with the deal. Even though they had the information, the knowledge to help them be successful and keep their home, that I know some people that would have walked away from it and were like, okay, well, figure it out yourself. I can't benefit from this. And so that's what it's all about. Just being good, great human beings and helping people get to that next level. So what would you say is the one piece of information you would give to somebody that's on the fence that maybe doesn't think that they can do real estate or get involved in multifamily and start doing deals? What would you say to that person?
I would say look at what's in front of you, look at the people who are doing it, and you just got to have faith. You got to step out there on faith. You got to prepare yourself. You got to educate yourself. But it comes at a cost. You have to be willing to either give up time or give up money to learn this stuff. And sometimes it takes a little bit of both, but it's very doable. You just have to take action, and everything is not going to be peachy chews. You're not going to always succeed. You're expected to fail, but you fail your way forward. You fail your way to success. But if you never failed, I mean, you didn't try. So you got to try. You got to put forth the effort.
No, most definitely. I agree 100%. And what's the best way for those that want to reach out to you, Dr. Joel? They may have a situation, they may have a house, may know someone in pre-foreclosure that you may be able to help. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
My website is still under development, but you can reach out to me either on Facebook. You can DM me on Facebook, Dr. Joel McCloud. You can email me, jmccmd2020 at AOL.com. That's JMCCMD as in Mad Dog or Mad Doctor 2020 at AOL.com.
All right. And I just added that to the ticker there. So they will have that. And any questions? Any questions online while we got Dr. Joel here? We'll leave a few minutes here for questions before we wrap up, as well as for those who want to tap in. The 2-day conference starts this Friday, the Smart Money Expo. You can go to smartmoneyexpo.com and get your tickets. They're free tickets for Friday and Saturday. Friday is going to be a little bit of business credit. I'll be talking about multifamily, kicking off. I found out I'm going to be kicking off the conference Friday with mindset. So that's going to be truly inspirational. I got something good. Been working on that the last couple of days. And Saturday is going to be all things trading. We're going to have some great Forex and also stock market traders that are going to be talking about trading strategies and how you can get in on that. So it's going to be a great wealth building conference. So tap into Smart Money Expo. And we look forward to transforming lives, changing lives through real estate in Austin, Texas this weekend. So definitely get there if you can online, if that's something that you're interested in, and connect with Dr. Joel. He has his email there. He's on Facebook, and reach out to him if he can be of any type of service. I know he would love to be able to help any way possible. I just want to say thank you for your dedication, for your support, and everything that you're doing. You're a true inspiration to everybody in the community and myself as well. And just God bless you, and keep putting in the work, keep taking action, because hey, it clearly is paying off.
Well, I just want to turn that over and say thank you, Johnny. Thank you for putting into us all that you do, and for motivating us and educating us, and being an example for us and to us. We couldn't do any of this without your leadership and inspiration. So, many thanks to you.
No, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate it, and yeah, and I'm right there with you. I'm out front and leading the way, and we're going to new heights, and the future is definitely going to be bright. So I appreciate that. Everybody tapping in. For those that are interested, definitely reach out to me. My email, johnny@johnnylineham.com. If I can help, you want to have a conversation, consultation call, I'll put that out there too, where you can get the link there. If you're interested in having a consultation call with myself or my team, we'll chat with you, kind of see what you're looking at doing in real estate, and give you some strategy tips and see if it's in a good alignment with what we have going on, and go from there. So with that, everybody have a blessed night. This has been REI Genius Live with Dr. Joel McCloud, And we'll be back next Wednesday with another edition. So in the meantime, go out there, take action, and make some equity happen. And we'll see you guys next week.